Hi everyone. So we wanted to give you an opportunity to have a yoga flow session with Mr. Willecke. Since you can't have him in class right now for your yoga class, we thought we would bring the class to you. This is for the Willecke Challenge, and we hope you enjoy this session. Mr. Willecke,
All right, so we're gonna get started just like in class. We're gonna go from the beginning. I'm gonna teach some poses and we're gonna learn a few ones, and then you can try them at home, and hopefully we'll make another video next week that will be a little bit longer. So the first thing, you can start with the easy seat. You're gonna sit cross-legged. If that's the challenge, you're gonna have your legs forward. You're gonna start with a nice breathing exercise. You're gonna stand up, we're gonna sit your back up nice and tall, put your head up. We're gonna take 3 collective breaths. So you're gonna inhale through your nose deeply, and then exhale deeply 3 different times. So I'm gonna start with a nice inhale, and exhale, inhale, and exhale, and then one more on your own. All right, that's our first breathing exercise, 3 collective breaths together. We're gonna go ahead and start with just a simple sun salutation, and then get into a few more poses to get started. So you can go ahead and start on your feet. We're gonna start in mountain pose. So mountain pose, you're just gonna make sure that your feet are together, your big toe, pinky toe, and your heel are all rooted to the ground. You're sitting up nice and tall, your hands are gonna be out to your side. Make sure you extend to the crown of your head, straight back. You're gonna inhale your hands up to reach as high as you can. And you're gonna do a forward fold, come all the way down to your feet. And then from here, you can do a halfway lift halfway with a nice straight back. And then a forward fold, you're gonna get into a high plank. From a high plank, you're gonna go ahead and shift forward slightly and lower down to a low plank to your stomach. And then we're gonna go into cobra. So your hands are gonna be next to your ribs. Your feet are gonna be turned over. You're gonna press the top of your feet down and peel up your chest, not pushing with your hands, just lifting up, looking up, and lower back down. You're gonna untuck your toes, push up into a down dog. And from here, you're gonna hold it. You can pedal out your feet back and forth. And then you're gonna take your feet and walk them up to your hands. And then circle sweep your hands back up through touch and down. So that's just a simple sun salutation. So we did it slow. Now we're gonna go a little bit faster just to warm up our body. So go ahead and start in mountain pose. You can inhale your hands up to reach. Exhale, forward fold to touch your toes. You're gonna inhale, halfway lift with a straight back. Exhale into a high plank. You can slowly chaturanga, lower down to your belly. Really engage your back legs, look up for cobra. And untuck your toes, push up to a down dog. And you can walk your feet up to your hands. Hands come up, circle sweep to touch, and down. All right, now we're gonna transition into some open poses. So your hips are gonna be open. So you're gonna start at the top of your mat. Feet are gonna be together, and you're gonna step your right leg back. Your right leg is gonna come back. Your back foot is gonna be about 45 degrees, and it's gonna line up from your heel to your arch. And then your knee is gonna bend. You're gonna stack your knee over your ankle, and it's gonna be an open pose, so your hips are gonna turn open, hands are gonna come up, and you're gonna look right over your middle finger. Really engaging into the front leg. This is warrior 2. So make sure you're extending through the head is up, and then we're gonna go into peaceful warrior. So you can flip your front palm and bring it up to the sky. Your hand can rest on your lower back to reach up, opening up the side of your body. And back up to warrior 2. And you're gonna hinge forward for extended side angle. The front arm is gonna be the inside of your thigh to reach up, making sure you're still lunging in the leg. You can focus on your breathing. And slowly hinge back up. Step your right leg back to top and forward. So that is our warrior 2. So we're gonna go ahead and switch on the other side. So step your left leg back. Same feet, 45 degrees. Nice bend in your knee. Open up your hips. Look over the finger. We're gonna sit here for 3 breaths. Now flip your front palm and extend it to reach up for peaceful warrior. 2 and hinge down for extended side angle to reach. Hinging back up to warrior 2. You can bring your back leg up and back down. And now it's a small warrior series. So when we're going ahead and doing these, you want to make sure that you're focused on your breathing in and out through your nose. So that was our open poses. Now we're going to go to close. So your hips are going to be straight forward. So again, step your right leg back. Your same feet, 45 degrees, like warrior 2. This time you're going to take your hands and your hips are going to be straight forward. So stacking your shoulders over your hips and your hands are going to come up for warrior 1 to reach. Making sure you extend it nice and tall. Now we're going to go into pyramid. So straighten your front leg and you're going to hinge at your hips, bringing your forehead to your knee. Your hands can come down to the ground. And you can come back up to warrior 1, hinging the leg and step back up. Mountain pose. And what we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So step your left leg back, checking for your alignment. Lunging into that front leg. Hips are going to be neutral, so stand up. You can straighten that front leg, hinge at the hips, bring your hands down to the ground. Your forehead can come to your knee if it's there. And hinge back up to warrior 1. You can step your leg forward and your hands down. All right, now we're going to go into just a standing balancing pose. So we're going to go into tree. You may have seen this before, but from mountain pose, you're going to shift your weight into your left leg. Your right leg is going to come up, and you're going to go ahead and open up your hips. Your foot can rest on your calf. It can come up above your knee. Just make sure it's not on your knee, or it can rest here on your thigh. It's going to be tree pose. So if it's here, making sure you're open, you're standing up tall, your chest is open, your leg is engaged, your hands can come to center, or you can go ahead and grow your branches to reach up. If you want to add a challenge, you can try to close your eyes. If you fall out of the pose, it's okay, you can come right back. And you can come back down, hands to center. We're going to switch sides. Right leg is the focus. Left leg can come up, just not on your knee. Making sure that hip is open. You're going to stand up tall. Hands can come to center. Making sure you're extending to the crown of your head for a nice long spine. From here, you can grow your branches to reach up. Focus on your breathing in and out through your nose. You close your eyes for the added challenge. And come back to center and down. All right, so those are just some few basic poses with some cues to tell you how to do it correctly. So you can go ahead and try those at home. We're gonna go ahead and try to do another video, but we can go down and have a seat. All right, from here we're gonna do just a nice twisting pose to get your spine loose. So you're gonna go back to a nice easy seat. If you can have your legs there. From here, you're going to stand up nice and tall, and you're going to bring your hands up. And this time, you're going to turn over to your right. Right hand behind you, left forearm on your right knee to twist, keeping a straight spine. Slowly come back to center. Hands are going to come up and twist to your left. Come back up to reach, and from here you can do a forward fold and just reach forward. All right, you can come back center. So for those of you who were in my class before, we've gone over open poses, we went over neutral poses, we have a twist, and now we're going to go into an arm balance pose. So there's many different arm balances, but we're going to go over just one that you're familiar with. We're going to go over to a plank. So if you would like, you can come up to a high plank. If it's challenging, you can come down to a low plank. We're gonna hold it for 10 seconds and then we're gonna be switching. So you're gonna come up to a high plank and hold it. Making sure that your shoulders are stacked over your wrist and you're not too far forward or back. Now you're gonna bring your left hand and put it in the middle of your face and you're gonna turn for a side plank and extend straight up. Again, making your shoulder stacked over your wrist. If you want to add a challenge, you can lift up the right leg. And come back down to center. We're going to switch sides. Right hand down, left hand comes up. Back to a high plank. We're gonna do one more. If this is in your practice, you can. You're gonna go ahead and shift forward like chaturanga. You're gonna come to a four-limb staff pose as low as you can and hold it for 10, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we can stay here on our stomach. We're gonna do a little back bend. So we're gonna do a Sphinx pose. So you're going to take your hands and you're going to place them on the mat with your forearms. Your feet are going to be about shoulder width apart and you're going to press the tops of your feet down, pressing your legs and engaging your legs. Your kneecaps are going to lift off the ground. So you're going to press down and then from here you're going to do a Sphinx pose. You're going to engage your legs and you're going to push up through your forearms. Your gaze should be slightly ahead of you.
Feet touch.
Your feet are going to be about shoulder width apart. But your legs are engaged and you can lower back down. And this time we're going to go ahead and push up onto our knees. Your knees are going to come about shoulder width apart. Your feet are going to be touching together. And we're going to do a quick child's pose. So your hands are going to come straight out in front of you. Your forehead can come down to the mat. And now from here, you're going to make sure your hands are straight. You can take your left hand and walk it over on top of your right hand. You switch sides. Left hand comes over. Right hand is going to come over on top. And come back to center. You're going to come up to a tabletop position. We're going to do one more twist. Your left hand can come center, and your right hand is going to come up to extend. And back down to a tabletop. Switch sides. Your left hand is going to come up. And back down. You're going to flip over onto your back. We're going to go over one of my favorite poses. You're going to lay on your back. Your right knee is going to come up and you're going to squeeze your knee. You're going to love your knee, squeeze it to your chest. Your left hand is going to guide it all the way to your left side. You're going to look over your right shoulder. Knee's going to come back. One final hug and extend it straight. We're going to switch sides. Left knee comes up. Left knee comes in to squeeze. Right hand's going to take it across the right side of your body. Look over your left shoulder. And back to center. One final squeeze. Your leg comes out long. Now if you've had my class before, we're going to do everyone's favorite pose, which is Shavasana. So your legs are going to be straight, your head is going to be down, your shoulders, your hands are going to come out wide, and you're going to relax everything, your mouth, your head, and you're just going to relax. Ready, you can open up your eyes, sit up. We're gonna come back to a nice easy seat. Your legs, and that will be it. Hopefully you enjoyed that. We'll go ahead and try to add another one this week. Jax.
Our dog is digging.
And we'll try to add another one next week, hopefully, so we can do that. I'll be a little bit less talking, so we can just do that. And like I tell all my students, we're gonna end class with a nice smile, so you enjoy your day. Make sure you're kind to everyone and you smile at someone today.
Take care of yourselves. Bye.
Jax. All right, Jax. What are you doing? You can't be digging in a new spot.